Yo, it's your boy Casual Rail with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that. Yo, hit that like button, comment below, and subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. We're going quick, we're going fast. And for this one, we're getting straight into it. We got the likes of Richardson, Hitchins, taking on the likes of George Kambosos Jr., rumored to be late summer, early fall 2025, as these two men will finally get the scrap they've been going back and forth on via social media, you name it. Now, this could be a potential good fight, maybe a classic, maybe a fight of the year candidate, depending on how these two men bring their game plan and stick to themselves. What do we mean by this? Both men are true boxers, right? Not a lot of power. So usually you don't name fight of the year with guys that at least don't have, power and can get that knockdown, right? But in this case, I think the pressure, from both men, the way they fight, they are true boxers. They stick to the boxing technique. They do move around. They don't have a lot of power. They're about 50-50 for both. But again, let's get back to that pressure and throwing hands, right? They both let their hands go, especially if they feel like they're against the wall. Let's point to George Kambosos Jr. If he's being pressed back and hands are flying and he feels like he's down, especially if he feels like he's down on the card or it's close, George is going to let them hands go. George is going to step in there and try to do the best he can. He's going to try to throw some overhand rights and especially dig to the body. He does impressive body work to me. I think it's overlooked in the case of George Kambosos. I think it's one of the things that actually keeps him in a lot of fights, especially if he's down or moving around. His angles are good, but more importantly, I like how he lets his hands go and he's willing to fight, willing to pressure the other man, win, lose, or draw. Hitchinson's on the other case. He's also willing to let his hands go, but in a little different fashion. He lets them go in pockets, let them go in spurts, let them go, almost like he's planned out the round of when he's going to let those hands fly. Obviously, he uses his reach. He uses his footwork to stay out of harm's way. He controls the action. He's a ring generalship in the ring. He's able to lead his fighter, his opponent, where he wants him to be, almost like a matador, right? And some people can say that's boring at certain times. Like, Rigondeaux was very known for doing that style, and this didn't let his hands go. But in the case of Hitchins, he will let those hands go. He will let them fly. It's just how he gets his opponent there, if that makes sense. That reach that he has, that good jab, he's able to set up a lot of different things. And then when he's ready, steps in, gets it off in a flurry, steps back out, controls the action, steps back in almost like a cadence. This two styles meshing, especially if that cadence and that constant pressure from Kambosos hit at the right time, especially throughout multiple rounds, we could have a nice barn burner that could, although I said both men don't have a lot of knockout power, I think we could see a knockdown. And if I had to put a knockdown in favor of, I'm going to say it for Hitchins, knocking down the likes of Kambosos, mainly because of the reach and mainly because he is the true 140-pounder right now. Kambosos just got him a good fill-in. He stepped in. He's welcoming in. You're stepping up to the champ. We're going to see if he's really ready for that 140-pound division, because there's some killers there. You got the likes of Teofimo still walking around. Yes, Kambosos beat him, but that's not the same Teo. You got Barbosa still walking around there. So we've got some guys at the 140-pound division, although Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia have kind of moved up, and so has Jose. There's still a lot of good competition there. A lot of people still waiting around. I mean, Paul, yes, he lost, but Paul's a hell of a fighter. He's still in there. We're going to find out if the likes of Kambosos really belongs in the 140-pound division or not. He had a good showing against Wally. But I think stepping up to the champ, 5 pounds up, 140-pound division, I think we're going to see if he can really maintain and take that power. And I think Hitchins is going to let his hands fly at the right time, at the right cadence, and knock down the likes of Kambosos late. But again, that doesn't mean he wins the fight. I honestly don't know who wins this scrap right now. If I had to lean in favor of, I will say Hitchins. Mainly because he's the champ, mainly because of his reach, mainly because of his size and his skill set is just there. I think he is a little bit better boxer than the likes of Kambosos, and Kambosos is going to be the underdog fighting up in this case. But we got 3-minute fight drills. We got 3-minute fight breakdowns. And when we get close, we see the weigh-ins and so forth. We'll see more. We'll see how they do their camps, how they prepare. But either way, I'm excited for the scrap. I think it's going to be a good one. Not sure where they're going to actually have it at. Hitchins, he is a name. He's a champ. So obviously they'll probably have it here in the States. But honestly, if they want to make probably the best bang for the buck, the best money, I see it happening down in Australia. They got a good fan base there, good fanfare, and that audience, that fan base comes out to support, especially when it's a championship belt on the line. As the likes of Keith One Time Thurman, they showed him a lot of love out there. That Australian crowd is the real ones, right? I can see it happening there, to make the most out of that event. I mean, Hitchins, he's somewhat of a name here in the States. I don't know if it's big enough yet with him and Kambosos with that challenge and bringing it here. Honestly, as the champ, he has the right to do whatever he wants to do, and it will probably happen here. But win, lose, or draw, it should be a good scrap. Should be a good time. Two good fighters. What I am worried about for the likes of Kambosos is, has he learned anything since the Devin Haney loss? Because I really see the likes of Hitchins pretty much doing the same thing Haney did. Controlling action with that jab, got the better reach, got decent, okay power to earn the respect of Kambosos. In this case, it's going to be even worse. Again, like we mentioned earlier, he's moving up. Has Kambosos learned anything? I'm really not sure. Has he learned how to step around the jab? Has he learned to negate the jab? Because that's what he's going to have to do if he wants to win this fight against Hitchins. That's the only thing you can do. If you don't get rid of that jab, if you don't negate the reach advantage, it's going to be a long night for Kambosos. And I think Hitchins going to pretty much use the same game plan Haney did, but a little better, and actually exchange a little bit more, and maybe even try to get Kambosos out late in that fight. Hopefully Kambosos has learned. Based on the Wiley fight, I didn't see enough yet to really say he has learned. But this is a new challenge. It's for belt, new weight class, new things, and hopefully his camp gets him prepared. Hopefully his trainers take charge and show him how to change his angles and negate the jab. And we're going to have us a hell of a fight. Either way, we talked too long on this, man. It's your boy, Couch Real with the Sunday Podcast. Hit that like button, comment below, and as always, subscribe. We appreciate that love. Till the next time, peace.